Hello and welcome to my presentation. I'm Stephen Jackson, the head teacher here at Valley. And the slides that I'm going to share with you in this presentation are the slides that I would have shared with you had you been attending an open day tour on site here at the school. You would have toured the school with some of my Year 6 pupils and then come back to the studio for my presentation. So we'll start first of all with a little bit about the school. So we are 450 pupils in the main school, and we have 32 pupils in our preschool setting. In the main, we are a two-form entry, which means we have two classes of 30 pupils in each year group. Currently, I have 3 classes in my Year 2 year group. Approximately half of the pupils come from an ethnic group. I often say that when I stand in front of the whole school in the assembly hall, I see all 4 corners of the world represented before me. And it is that diversity that really is a strength here of the school at Valley. The children don't see the colour of skin or the God that some people might worship as a barrier to them all getting along. And for the last few years, Valley Primary School has been a member school of Connect Schools Academy Trust. This multi-academy trust is made up of primary schools. There's Valley, Raglan Primary School, Crofton Infants and Juniors here in Bromley, and then River Mill, which is a relatively new free school that the trust have opened in Dartford, and Cage Green Primary School in Tonbridge. So why choose Valley? Had you had the opportunity to come on site this year, I think you would have instantly recognised the caring community that we are. Whenever I show visitors around, they are soon to pick up on the warm feel that we have here at the school. Staff who really know the pupils as individuals and their families. And for me as head, that's really important, that we do know our families really, really well, so that we can celebrate together when it's time to celebrate, or just sit a little bit closer when we need to offer a little bit more support. The pupils themselves, they are the real stars of the show here at Valley, and they never cease to amaze me with their creativity and the maturity that they all show. As a school, we have a good track record of academic success. For several years, our end of Key Stage 2 attainment, so the attainment of our Year 6 pupils, places us in the top 25% and in some subjects, top 10% for performance nationally when compared against national comparators. But it's not just the academic performance that we concentrate on, it is that whole child development, so that we try and make sure there is something for everyone here at Valley. We can't escape the headlines that we hear from time to time in recent years about childhood and how complicated it has become. So as a school, I just want to share with you what we do to try and make sure that the children are happy, because happy children learn best. And I just want to go through on this slide some of the things that we do as a school to support childhood, to make sure there is that balance of being a young child and striving for academic excellence. Currently, the school is working with Bromley as part of the Trailblazer project supporting wellbeing. We're one of 50-odd schools across the borough that are working on this project to work out a model for excellence moving forward within this borough in order to support positive well-being of pupils as they move on through primary school and on into secondary school. In March of this year, I am pleased to say, after 2 years of hard work, we have secured a nationally recognised wellbeing award. And I think I'm right in saying that we're probably one of the first primary schools here in Bromley to achieve this award, which recognises the work we have done for pupil and staff wellbeing. Yoga, although we don't call it yoga in the formal sense, but our reception children, as part of the day when they have forest schools, on the other half of that day, they come into our smaller hall here called the studio, and they take part in some mindfulness stroke yoga activities. It is quite something seeing 30 young 4-year-olds learning to be still. We've been doing this for about 7 years now, and the success of the programme that we deliver for our reception children, we've now rolled that out, and as part of our PE curriculum, staff will often run a 4 to 5 week block of mindfulness as part of the PE curriculum with children in other year groups through the school. Over the past 2 years, we have formalised our curriculum in PHSE, Personal Health, Social, Citizenship, Education, and we've brought back weekly circle times. And that is really important for pupils together as a class to discuss anything that might have happened within the class in terms of behaviour, or for us to discuss with the children any current themes that might be cropping up in the news. And that might pose any sort of concerns for the pupils. So we brought back a PHSE curriculum and circle time curriculum, and lots of our learning here is recorded in the class big books. I've already mentioned PE. Our teachers deliver the PE learning here at Valley. We don't rely on external sports coaches to deliver that learning. The class teachers take their own PE lessons, and all pupils get their weekly allowance of physical education. The extracurricular life of the school as well, over the last few years, we've worked hard to build the extracurricular life. And in normal circumstances, we have in excess of 30 odd clubs that run in a given week here at Valley. Like I was saying, something for everyone at the school. And the clubs range from sporting clubs to musical theatre, arts and crafts, foreign language clubs. And just before lockdown, we were due to bring online a coding robotics club because children had been asking for that. Hopefully, once we are shot of the COVID regulations, we will relaunch the extracurricular clubs. The programme for extracurricular clubs changes on a termly basis, and parents have the opportunity to sign their pupils up for the clubs that particularly interest the children. In brackets there you will see Care Club, and that's for me to remind myself that we also offer wraparound care, the extended day care. So Valley offer a breakfast club and an after school club. There is a Care Club manager, and then the staff in the main that work in the care clubs are the staff that children will see around the school during the school day, made up of our support staff members. There is an additional cost for breakfast and after school club, and there is information on the school website about that. Parents, again, can buy in to the extended daycare on a daily basis. It's not that you have to sign up for certain days for the term. It's as and when the need arises, you can sign your child into after school club or breakfast club. I think one of the big selling points for us here at Valley in terms of supporting childhood are the school grounds. We are blessed with space, playground space, the den area, the adventure playground, the all-weather sports pod that we have here, plus the extensive field and our forest school and pond area. And wherever possible, we get children out in to use the school grounds. I'm not going to go through this slide, but we were last Ofsteded in November 2018, where we maintained our good grading. These are just some of the highlights which we've taken from our most recent Ofsted report. Our core values are care, learn together, aim high, be honest, and look after what we have. And our assembly themes, our PHSE and our circle time curriculum, we very often talk about these core values with the children. I often say to the pupils, if I could cut you in half, I'd like to see these core values run through you like a stick of rock. It defines who we are as a school community, who we are as pupils, and how we behave towards one another. Our core values also underpin our approach to behaviour, which relies on the restorative justice approach. When there are blips in behaviour, we bring the children together so that we can talk through the choices that they made and the impact that might have had on other pupils in the class. And again, as I've said, we refer to our core values in terms of helping the children then to work through any difficulties there might have been with behaviour and the plan that they have moving forward on how they're going to repair relationships as part of the restorative justice approach. This year we launched our new curriculum at Valley, and on the slide at the moment you will see our curriculum intent statement. I'm not going to read through it all, and again there is a section on our website which tells you a little bit more about the curriculum on offer. The curriculum was reshaped, if you like, around some main curriculum drivers. Our overarching curriculum driver here at Valley is global citizenship. And then underneath global citizenship, we have the curriculum drivers of community, our place in history, and ambition and aspiration. And these curriculum drivers help shape what we deliver throughout the curriculum, and certainly the foundation curriculum at Valley. Our foundation subjects, so that's our music, art, design technology, history, geography, those subjects are delivered through what we call the IPC, or the International Primary Curriculum. And that is an approach that combines the academic, the personal, and the international elements of learning. It was specifically geared up for preparing children for life in the 21st century. And if I just move forward to the next slide, again, our learning in IPC is centered on personal learning goals, which you can see here on the slide. They're not just skills that are going to equip children for a good education or succeeding in the classroom. I think you'll agree with me that these personal learning goals prepare children for their adult lives and the world of work. And on a weekly basis, children are selected to come and receive a gold star from myself on a Friday. And very often when I ask the children what their gold star has been awarded for, they will often say, oh, well, Mr. Jackson, I showed adaptability when I was working in my design technology project where I had to adapt my designs. Or their inquiry, I got mine for my teacher thinks I've shown really good sort of talent in inquiry this week while studying my science topic. So again, the children are very mindful of these personal learning goals and how they are used to develop them as young learners. Another headline you might have been quite conscious of in recent months is air quality. And again, I've worked with a group of parents and scientists from some local universities to formulate an environmental plan for us here at Valley so that we can be sure that the air that we breathe in the classrooms is as clean as possible. There were many stages of our environmental plan, and you will see if you walk by the school, thanks to a grant from Transport for London, we have been able to install ivy green screens that run along the front facade of the school, which acts as a barrier to stop pollution coming off that main road into the school building. And another phase two, another part of our environmental plan was to raise money for the installation of air purifiers. And I'm pleased to say, with the efforts of some of my parents from the events that we've had at school, we raised enough money to buy air purifiers for every single classroom. So they are on site, they run throughout the day with 5 air changes in an hour, helping to clean the air in our classrooms. 2 other hardworking members of the parent body applied to the Mayor of London's Greener City Fund, and we secured £30,000 last year to green up the playground. And recently we've had an event with families coming to plant over 100 trees on our school field to develop the Forest School wooded area. And we have just installed some large planters on our playgrounds where we've planted some rather large olive trees. We've still got some more money to spend, so we are still throughout this school year working on finalising the environmental plans. And I think on the next slide here you can see a sort of bird's eye plan of our school. And this is our proposal for raised beds in the orchard area of our school where children can get out and about as part of their science curriculum to grow fruit and vegetables. You will see over the far right hand side of the screen here that Forest School area and developing that wooded area down the far side of our field. And if I just move forward onto the next 2 slides, you have some artist impression images here of what we hope to achieve hopefully by the end of this school year in terms of our environmental plan. And then we come on to this slide, which I do call the nitty-gritty, because this is what lots of you as parents want to hear. It is the last 3 years worth of applications, the number of parents who named Valley Primary School as one of their preferences, and more importantly, the catchment area for this school over the last 3 years. So as you can see, we are a popular school. We have in excess of 300 applications where parents name Valley Primary School as one of their 6 preferences on the admission form in any given year. And the catchment, you will see here, in 2018, it was 0.47 of a mile. and I've put in brackets there, that's where we took our last bulge class, where we took 3 classes in reception. For the past 2 years, we've only taken 60 children, so 2 classes in reception. And I have gone back to Bromley again to see what the likelihood is of us taking 3 classes in September 2021. Ideally, I would like to take 90 children in September 2021, but it does depend on how many school places are needed across the borough, and then Bromley also look at Pan London and the patterns of numbers for reception places. I don't know the answer yet, whether I'll be taking 2 classes or 3 classes, and I probably won't have notification from Bromley almost until April, around National Offer Day. As soon as I know as a school whether we will be taking 60 or 90 children, I will put the information out on our school website and on our social media feeds for the school. And then I've included this slide here. So if you name Valley as one of your preferences, and you are offered Valley Primary School, this is the timeline that we have for induction. So 16th of April 2021 is National Offer Day. That's when you will find out as parents the school that you have been offered for your son or daughter. On the 15th of June 2021, we hope to hold our new reception induction evening. That's where parents will come on site and you will pick up your induction packs. And we also do lots of the admin side of things there. So looking at your birth certificates and household bills and all the other bits and pieces that we need to see, we try and get that ticked off on that new reception induction evening on the 15th of June. The 1st and 8th of July 2021 will be the stay and play events. That's where we invite you to come into school. The children will go down and meet their teachers and the teaching assistants that they will work with throughout their reception year. So they have a morning or an afternoon playing with and getting to know some of the other children that will be in their class. And you as parents, you will stay in the studio hall, the smaller hall that we have here, and get to know each other as parents and chat with each other over a coffee and a biscuit. And we have also on hand our uniform suppliers. Mrs. Bradley, who is the Special Educational Needs Coordinator, she'll be on hand to discuss any medical or special educational needs that your child might have. And Chartwells, who are our caterers, they will have representation at the stay and play events, again, to talk about any allergies or dietary requirements for your son or daughter. At Valley, we do home visits. That's where the teacher and teaching assistant will come and visit you in the home. And we find those highly beneficial for us to learn about you as a family, and more importantly, about the child that we will be inducting in reception. And it's probably the only time in your child's school career where you invite us. You invite the school into your home rather than the school inviting you as a family into the school setting. On the 5th and 6th of July, that is where we've timetabled to do some home visits for selected pupils only. So on those dates, we will look if there are identified special educational needs or quite significant medical needs. It is those pupils and families that we will be visiting before the summer holidays. The remainder of the home visits are then carried out in the first 2 weeks of term in September. And on the 16th of July, again, another opportunity for the pupils to come together to get to know each other as a cohort, and for families to get to know each other. We propose the new reception family picnic, which we have here, hopefully if the sun is shining, on the school field. You will see the little asterisks that I've put against all of these events because none of us know what COVID restrictions, if any, will be in place in the spring and summer of 2021. So this timeline is provisional, and we might have to change dates or the pattern of events like we had to this year as part of that induction timeline. Just going back to the home visits. So in September, the main school will start back on a given day, and reception don't start fully for those first 2 weeks. That allows us to get the home visits done. And then we do a very short staggered start into reception where they stay for the mornings and then we stay for lunch and we build up to full time. But by the third week of term in September, all 60 pupils or 90 pupils, if I'm taking 3 forms in next September, will be in school full time. And the last slide from me really is, well, what is my aim as a head teacher? So as head of Valley, I aim to have high achieving pupils. We are a school at the end of the day, and we do want to have high achieving pupils academically. I want pupils, as they journey through life at Valley, to have exposure to the arts, to music, to sport, humanities, science, and technology. I want each and every pupil to know themselves as individuals and be confident with who they are. I want to develop a lifelong thirst for learning, but above all, I want them to be confident, respectful citizens of tomorrow. That's it from me. That is my presentation. As I said, these are the slides I would have shared with you on site had we been offering the normal open day tours. Please do take the time to have a look at all the other videos that we've uploaded on this section of our website. And I just need to say a special thank you to my Year 6s who have helped put together some of the video footage that you see as part of the Open Day 2020 Learning tab on our website. And we have an email, which is openday@valley.bromley.sch.uk. If there are any questions that you have as families pertaining to your child in particular or your family situation, please do email in. That email is there in the text of my introduction on the Open Day tab. So have a look at that email address. And if you have got specific questions that you need to raise with us, please do send in a question via that email address, and we will get back to you, whether that's via email or if you give us your telephone number, we will phone you to discuss any specific individual needs for your families. But thank you very much for taking the time to visit our website, and I certainly do hope that I will get the chance to speak to many of you in the forthcoming question and answer sessions, which we'll be doing virtually this year.